Hey, what's up guys, it's Fish here and welcome back my glorious bannerman to another 2v2 battle for Total War Warhammer. Today we're going to be trying to make Bretonnia great again, and by that I mean we're just going to go ahead and play Bretonnia in a 2v2 battle and kind of just go ahead and run through some of my tactics which I used in this battle, because I see a lot of comments saying how Bretonnia is super underpowered, and I don't really think they are. However, I'm not an expert. I've played maybe 10 games with them, so all my tactics could be completely wrong and this could just be a one-off. So yeah, we're going to be doing a 2v2 replay. I am playing obviously as Bretonnia up on this hill, and then my ally down here is Pixelated Apollo. He is playing as the Empire, and we're up against a pretty hard match. We're up against Chaos and we're up against the Greenskins if we go ahead and look at their armies. Yeah, so we're up against, a pretty nasty orc build actually. They've got an arachnid, they've got 2 trolls, stuff like this is going to be hard to kill for our cavalry and stuff. So, this is definitely going to be a very difficult battle. We have some doom divers to keep us at range, as well as that they also have chaos with a pretty heavy cavalry force as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pause the battle whilst we go ahead and run through the armies, just because this battle kind of kicks off fairly quickly, and you guys will see why in a minute. So for my army, I went ahead and brought 4 units of these peasant archers, just to go ahead and try and force the enemy up this hill, because that's kind of my plan here. I also bought a trebuchet to go ahead and get that done, is to try and just force the chaos player to come up this hill, and then I'm going to use my huge line of cavalry just to run down the hill, kind of Helm's Deep style, and just smash his infantry. That's kind of the plan. That's kind of what this whole army kind of relies on. I also went ahead and, however, brought 5 units of halberdiers, or I think it's men-at-arms polearms, I think they're called. And this is kind of really if my cavalry tactic fails. Like, say they decided 2v1 Apollo down here, I'm going to need to swing around at least some infantry to try and help out against the enemy forces. And the nice thing is, because I've got polearms and halberdiers, these guys are anti-large, and as you saw, they had 2 giants over there in the orc army. I also went ahead and brought, I think, 3 units of these Knights of the Grail Knights. Sorry, I'm thinking of the Knights of the Realm. So I brought 3 units of the Grail Knights and 2 units of the Knights of the Realm. So I have 5 units of horses in my little force over here. I also went ahead and brought Leoncourt, even though this isn't Leoncourt. I also brought a paladin on a horse to go ahead and help out with my cavalry engagement, and I also brought Leoncourt on a battle steed, I think it is called. And the reason I like doing that with all my generals is because it just gets so much more armor than if you kind of stick them on a flying mount. The extra armor just really helps out, and I always like to get my generals stuck in. I also brought a unit of mounted German archers who are going to harass the enemy. So yeah, Apollo's army. He also went ahead and stuck 2 units of his Demigriff Knights, on this left flank to go ahead and help out with our little plan. So yeah, he stuck 2 units here. So he's kind of, relying quite a lot of our cavalry force on this side to hope that our plan works. So yeah, the rest of Apollo's army, he goes ahead and has 4 units of these halberdiers, which is again a real good, this is kind of quite lucky for us that we're bringing all these halberdiers and stuff, because as you saw, they have 2 giants and an arachnid. Yeah, that's pretty hard to deal with. Apollo's army kind of was just the right amount of anti-large that we needed, for sure, to at least give us a chance in this battle, because without all these halberdiers and handgunners, we would just never be able to deal with them enemy forces. So yeah, he also went ahead and brought 4 units of these handgunners to go ahead and pick away the heavily armored units, and these guys are going to be so valuable as it comes to taking out the trolls, or the giants. He also went ahead and brought 4 units of Reichsguard, or no, 1 unit of Reichsguard and 2 units of Empire Knights. Or are they just all Empire Knights? Are these guys not even Reichsguard? Oh, the more you know. The Empire Knights are so heavily armoured. Wow. I saw their armour and I just assumed they were Reichsguard. So yeah, and then finally for his infantry line, he obviously has the great swords, any staple of any Empire army. They're just so strong. He also went ahead and brought a Bright Wizard, and he has his general. Is that Cole Franz? Or is that just, yeah, he has Cole Franz again on a battle steed. I just kind of like having my general on a battle steed. So the Orc army. He has some Savage Orcs, again, very deadly. I think they get a ward save against pretty much all incoming damage, which is really deadly. Then he has 3 units of Orc Boys, 4 units of Orc Boys. These guys are just going to go ahead and engage the enemy force and kind of just hold them in place, whilst his other better units do more of a flanking. So yeah, 5 units of Orc Boys. Then he has 2 units of Black Orcs. Again, just these dudes are so scary. They just get into combat and kill everything. It's pretty brutal. And then behind that, he has a unit of Trolls. Again, a very potent unit. Literally, look at the stink coming off of them. Then obviously he has his arachnid with the gobos on top, shooting off with their arrows. Then he has 2 units of Doom Divers. These are just super long range artillery and they do so much damage. So the fact that he has 2 of these guys is going to kind of force us off the hill to kind of actually do something. Because we can't really sit back and get shot by these, you know, all day. Then is this Azag? Yeah, he has Azag chilling on his, just on foot. Over here he has 3 units of Savage Orc boys? Boar boys? Yeah, he has 3 units of these dudes. Ready to go into combat, and that guy's already doing an epic pose. And then finally for the Orc player's army is 2 units of Chaos Trolls and actually another unit of Black Orcs. So this Orc army is nothing to be messed with, especially because we got a Bretonnia player as well. So my infantry just isn't going to be able to deal with this whatsoever. We definitely have to hope that my cavalry is good enough. So for the Chaos player, he has like a bunch of Chaos Marauders. You know, these guys are lightly armoured, however, you know, against Bretonian infantry, you don't really need heavily armoured units. Then he spent a lot of money into these Chaos Knights. He got 3 units of these dudes, and these guys are matches for my Knights, for sure. You know, after the charge and these guys get stuck in, these guys actually have Lances and these guys have Knights. You know, once these guys get stuck in, it's going to be very, very hard to kind of deal with them with my own cavalry. Obviously, I have more cavalry, so it's kind of okay. He also went ahead and bought two Chaos Giants. So there's 4 Giants on this field we're going to have to deal with somehow. You know, luckily we do have a lot of like a lot of polearm weapons, and then he also obviously brought Archeon on his mount, and then finally he bought 2 units of Hell Cannons. So yeah, that's the army comps. Let's go ahead and get straight into the battle. So the really interesting thing, which is something I didn't actually talk about in the building of the armies, is that Bretonnia get Pegasus Knights, and I did bring a unit, and they actually get a ability which allows them to deploy anywhere on the map outside of the enemy deployment zone. So what happens, you know, the enemies online go ahead and leave their artillery completely open, and you can go ahead and use these Pegasus Knights where people just don't expect it to come in and just absolutely just slaughter the enemy artillery. Because, you know, his army was ready to move forward. He was going to leave the Hell Cannons back and just defend. However, the Pegasus Knights kind of took him off guard. He was not expecting them to use the Outrider ability and actually come and get them. This has allowed me to go ahead and smash his Hell Cannons and actually get rid of like so much money early on and really kind of turn the tide into our favor. Because, you know, these Hell Cannons are not cheap. They cost like 1,000 plus each. So just by throwing in a unit, like kind of a deceptive unit to even look, these guys never actually had to engage. You know, if he had his artillery really well defended, I could have just sat back with these guys and just not really bothered to assault. But because they were open, I could have used these guys to, you know, it's kind of like a free risk, really, with a huge reward at the end of it. We managed to take out 2 Hell Cannons really early on, pretty much just nullifying the entirety of the Chaos player's ranged capabilities, because now he's forced to rush, because I've got my trebuchet shooting, I've got my my cavalry, which actually did get wrecked by the Chaos player. You know, I'm forcing him to come closer, and his Orc friend doesn't really want to do that. He wants to sit back and just shoot with his Doom Divers, which are absolutely smashing my Yeoman missiles right now. So yeah, he wants to sit back and use his long range artillery, which he has, just to go ahead and pick away at Apollo's army. Whereas the Chaos player is kind of more forced to come forward now, because he's getting picked away by my trebuchet as well, which is now shooting. Which is loading up and just shooting rock after rock. I love the trebuchet on this. It just makes me feel like, you know, like Lord of the Rings, you know, when Gondor just shoot their trebuchets out of Minas Tirith. It just looks so cool. So I'm going to be hitting away. I think a lot of my shots are actually going to be hitting the trees. However, that's completely fine with me. My archers are also going to go ahead and get charged. And this is fine. I'm forcing his cavalry to actually come into the woods. And that's exactly where I want it. Because I can go ahead and just rush forward my infantry. I can rush forward my cavalry. And I can go ahead and just kind of lay an ambush. So all my spears are going to be moving up. And again, this is really good because my spears are decent at taking care of cavalry. So I'm just going to rush my cavalry back and kind of just spring my trap as I advance my halberdiers into combat. You know, my men are coming out of vision now. Even though some of them are getting trampled, you know, I've got 5 units of these guys to go ahead and just kind of hold down the enemy cavalry. And these guys have obviously a longer range weapon, so they're going to be able to do pretty decently against this. And again, like, the Orc player just doesn't want to move. He wants to sit back and use his long range artillery. He's going to run up very, very soon. But again, he'd much rather, you know, use his missile advantage. You can see he is just peppering Apollo's line. You can already see one unit of handgunners. You know, this great sword is also taking a pounding. It's definitely doing a lot of damage. Sorry, I wasn't on cinematic mode. I completely forgot. So you can see these guys are just smashing, and actually a few of them missing. But they're going to be, you know, every hit is just going to be racking up so many kills. So the fact that the Orc player, like the Chaos player, has kind of forced this engagement, just it really isn't helping them out. And considering the cost effectiveness of my halberdiers or my polearms, you know, this is just really going in my favor. I can also go ahead and start to use my cavalry as well when I want to. I'm still like hoping that he's going to go ahead and force an engagement over here, but I feel like he's just not going to. Like, he's going to go ahead and try and 2v1 Apollo, which is probably their smartest idea, is just to try and engage Apollo's forces. So because of that, I'm just going. Oh my god, look at that that trebuchet shot as well. I'm actually getting some really nice hits down, apart from that one. So yeah, my Grail Knights are just going to come smashing in now. Just go ahead and support my infantry. I feel like with the support of my infantry, it's going to be a pretty nice victory. We can go ahead and tie up this flank and kind of just wrap around. I'm sending some more of my knights, and Apollo is sending his demigryph knights as well around that right flank through the woods. As we're pretty much just sending back all the Chaos Knights. So again, the Orc player has only just started to move, but he has trolls and giants. You know, they're going to take a while to actually move up. And Apollo's infantry is already engaged in the Chaos spawn. So again, it's just not really the smartest thing to do. You know, you want to attack in unison, because at the moment, you know, we're actually starting to go ahead and get a nice 2v1 on the go very soon as my cavalry comes out of this woods. I'm actually going to go ahead and slow it down as well, because I don't really want to miss all this action. You can see there's already a giant which is already at half health. And we don't want to miss all of that, so we're going to just watch a little bit of this in slow-mo, just so we can get the epicness of the trolls. Oh my god, could you imagine being that one guy you got grabbed? That would not be good. So yeah, the Chaos Giants are just smashing away. They've actually got some Orc shields on them as well. That looks really cool. I never noticed that before. But the nice thing is, Apollo has some halberdiers ready to go ahead and do combat with these guys. And I'm pretty sure he is also using his handgunners as well to help out. Archeon's about to get an epic charge, just leaping into the enemy lines and just smashing the handgunners flying. Archeon's going to have a pretty good time of killing the handgunners. Apollo is using his Bright Wizard to cast some magic. But again, look how far away these trolls are, or these giants, sorry, are. And I'm using my Pegasus Knights just to drop down again and just harass his Doom Divers. I'm trying to stop these guys from shooting. You also have some trolls back here as well. So yeah, if we go ahead and look back on this engagement, we're about to get an epic charge from the Grail Knights right into the back of these halberdiers. Going to go ahead and support my boy out, Apollo, and just go ahead and help his great swords out by just smacking into these halberdiers. Obviously, I don't want to go ahead and stay in a prolonged engagement, but I don't think I will. I think my Grail Knights are just strong enough to go ahead and just smash right through these guys. You can see they're already still going. This dude is just on one. He is just like, I'm out of here. So we went ahead and managed to defeat the entirety of the Chaos cavalry force on this right flank. And you can just see, look at my horses just wrapping around now. I've got so much cavalry just coming and helping out. I think, yeah, I also have some more over here actually chasing down the rest of his cavalry. There's a little bit more of an engagement over here. And my cavalry is just chasing down. Like, this is maybe kind of a waste. I definitely could have used this cavalry elsewhere. You know, same with Apollo's demigryph knights. But that's fine. We're also moving some polearms through the woods as well, which could definitely have been diverted. But it's not the end of the world, for sure. And the rest of my halberdiers, my archers, are just starting to come away and just starting to pick away at the Orc army now as well. So if we go back to normal speed now that my cavalry charges has gone off. So yeah, you can see we're actually straight up routing these Chosen with great weapons as well. So they're not actually halberdiers, sorry. I thought they were with halberdiers, but they were just great weapons. My mistake. And Apollo's now going to use his freed up greatsword unit to go ahead and charge into the back of some more Chosen with great weapons. So killing these guys as well is so expensive. We also have Leon Corps as well charging into battle. Going to go ahead and try and help rally the Empire soldiers. Because Apollo's, you know, now the Orc players turned up, Apollo is up against it. He's managed to take down one troll, but he's still, you guys got to remember, there's still one giant, so I keep on calling them trolls, I do apologize. You got to remember, you know, the Orc player still has 2 giants left and an arachnid. And, you know, these guys are just going to run in, and the Reichsguard or the Empire Knights are also engaged. But again, these guys just don't care about armor. They're just going to be smashing away and just absolutely causing so much brutal damage. We do have a Firestorm cast by Apollo's Bright Wizard, and the Arachnid's just going to run through. This isn't the best engagement for the Arachnid. The Arachnid should be flanking around and assaulting the infantry. Because if you guys look, if we zoom out right now, you can know there's a lot of infantry engagements still going on. My cavalry is wrapping around. My Pegasus Knights are going to come in and try and help out with Apollo's Empire Knights. The infantry engagement is still going on. The Great Swords are having a field day against these Orc boys. They're just not going to be able to match against the Empire Great Swords. They're just way, way too strong. They're also supported by some halberdiers, which is definitely helping them out. And my cavalry is just starting to absolutely charge the enemy. I got an absolutely epic charge against these trolls, and they pretty much just rout them straight off the bat. You know, the nice thing about fighting trolls is their morale is awful. So if you get a really good cavalry charge off with Grail Knights or something like that, we're just going to straight up rout them, and you can slaughter them on the route. My cavalry is also just completely wrapping around now the battlefield. The enemy's trying to use his giants to go ahead and just stop them. You can see banging off a bunch of my horses. But the freedom I have now, got my cavalry coming back, chasing down his old ex-cavalry. I've got Leoncoeur as well, who is actually taking a bit of a pounding, and so is Cole Franz. He's getting a lot of negative abilities used against him. You can see his HP is not good right now. And if we look at the balance of power, it's slightly in our favor, but barely, you know. Oh my god, look how many enemy forces there are. There's only 400 enemy forces left, but because they're just giants and arachnids and stuff, they're still looking like they have a real chance. You know, the balance of power is only slightly in our favor. If we lose a general or, you know, something, we just throw away a unit, this battle could definitely be in the enemy favor. Again, if they were to use the arachnid as well, this could really help turning the tides, but it's just running away. And now my cavalry is just doing an amazing job of just coming around the flank and just smashing the pinned in place units. You know, even though they are Black Orcs, and even though we do have a giant right here, just getting the cavalry charges, you know, hammer and anvil strikes pulling out and charging back in. You can see the right flank as well, getting another good charge of my Grail Knights into the giants. And they're going to be doing a decent amount of damage. That was a huge scream by the 2 giants, the Chaos and Normal. And you can see they're definitely decently equipped to deal with these guys. But my Lancers are doing a very, very good job. Again, I'm just going to fall back and then go ahead and just get another epic charge on the enemy force. I'm a bit scared on what this magic is. But again, my Grail Knights are coming in as well. I'm buffing the Grail Knights as they charge in. And we're just sort of going ahead and just trying to take down these Chaos Giants. Again, I feel like it's kind of like at Pelennor Fields when we're trying to kill the Mumakil with horses. You know, it's a bit hard to do so, but I wish I kind of had some more horse archers would definitely help me out here. So my halberdiers are fighting the Black Orcs. I mean, they're not a match for them, but the fact that there's just so many more of our own infantry, I'm kind of not too scared here. I've got so many more men coming to sport over. Apollo's Demigryph Knights are finally turning up, and they're going to go ahead and just absolutely wreck the enemy infantry as they charge in. Hopefully just breaking through the enemy line and just sending the Black Orcs flying. Some more halberdiers have come back from a fight from routing. They're going to go ahead and run straight into the engagement. And I think right now the enemy just doesn't have a lot left. Really. I can't really see where the arachnid's gone. What even happened to it? Did it just like die or rout or what? Wait, where is it? Is it over here? Okay, I think it's over here fighting some of my halberdiers or my polearms. But again, this isn't so bad for me. The polearms are decent at taking care of the arachnids, so I'm not really too worried there. You can actually see my infantry running over here. They just weren't a match for the Black Orcs, so they actually had to fall back. Because these Black Orcs are some of the best infantry. I've also got my archers just picking away at the trolls, and I absolutely love that. That's one of my more favorite battle I guess aesthetics, is the arrows hitting the trolls and the giants. They just look so cool, just bouncing off. You know, some of them just not penetrating the giant skin. Some of them actually sticking there, because I've noticed a lot. There's a lot of the time there's just arrows just hanging off of infantry, and there you go. I like to feel like Legolas got a perfect shot there and took down the giant. and then the Chaos Giant and the rest of the Arachnid is going to go ahead and rout. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that battle. It was pretty fun to actually play, you know, playing kind of as the underdog as Bretonnia normally is. Like, it's pretty interesting to see. And if we look at the kills, you know, no one really did amazing on my side. You know, I got my cavalry just did pretty decent. My Pegasus Knights really paid dividends in that battle, because killing out them 2 Doom Cannons or Hellscream missiles or whatever the hell they're called, I've completely drawn a mind blank. But killing, I think they're Hell Cannons, killing them early on was just so important, because it meant that the Chaos player kind of had to be forced towards us, because if they attacked in unison, I think me and Apollo would have definitely lost that battle. But again, look at the size of our army. Because they bought the Chaos Giants and the normal Giants, the armies were so small. So yeah, I deployed 1100, or Apollo deployed 1100, and again, just no one really did amazing apart from 1 unit of great swords, which is interesting to see, because I feel like we won that battle fairly decisively. Like, I had a lot of cavalry left and a lot of archers, and again, Leon Cord lost no health that battle and killed 27 people, so shout out to him. If we look at the enemy forces, the Giants doing pretty good, the Arachnid doing pretty good, but I feel like these Giants and Arachnids could have done a lot better. The Trolls actually getting 0 kills because of my cavalry charge on them and just straight up routing them. Blackhawks did okay, and then finally, again, yeah, the Hell Cannons, 0 kills, that was so big. The Chaos Giant doing 123 kills, which was pretty nice, and Archeon actually killing 70 himself. You know, the Chaos player's infantry actually did really good. It just, the fact that he lost his Hell Cannons was just such a huge part of his army just gone straight away. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. Make sure to go ahead and drop a like and a comment if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time, and fish out.